Sorry.
There is high and medium cloud cover all morning, so we are going to take off later, and I'm not too hopeful. Some wings are already above launch level though, so I'm going for it too. I'm expecting the air to be dull due to the blanket and high humidity, but even though it's still under a cloud, the biggest bombs in 3 days are going. When the sky opens up, it continues, and doesn't calm down until around 4 PM. It's probably because of the stronger gusts. I keep dropping out of the climbs near the hill, so I fly forward, where I finally find something normal. It's slowly going to the turn today. The wind is southerly, so I've got a bit of a headwind. I thermal high before the first jump, so it's going okay. But before the second jump, I'm only at 1300, and I'm not even at the end of the edge. I fly down to a slight slope even below the takeoff level, but it's against the wind and into the sun, so I'm not so worried about bombing out. And indeed, a little further on, I catch a cool lift back to the operating level. I fly on to the antennas, but there's a big black cloud. Through a gap between the clouds, I can see it's pretty high too. I look at the radar, and the formation is clearly visible. There are also virgas coming down from the cloud. Those slopes, which are the beginning of rain, that evaporated as it falls and the updraft lifts it back up. I'm also under another cloud pretty high up. If these two merge, there will be no escape. So I'm ditching the antennas and turning in early. I then fly at full speed for the longest straight time in my career, a full 10 minutes. Normally, I'd be on the ground in that amount of time, but I'm flying on the edge of a cloud, so I'm holding 1700 meters almost the whole time. I connect onto a slope before the second jump, without any troubles. The black cloud remains far behind me, advancing to the south-southwest. Then a test of patience begins. For a full hour and a half, I stay near the edge, trying to find a jump-worthy thermal. I search in and out of the gully, in front of the edge and behind it, but it's getting overshadowed. Conditions have cooled down a lot, and I'm turning maximum 1 meter per second thermals up to 1700. That's not enough for the jump. I wait for one decent climb, scrape it up to 1980, and gather my courage for the jump. Tech tells me to take it up the hill, so I ambitiously aim not left next to the rocks, but right above them. The air here is venturied too, but at least it goes up a bit at times. Just before the plateau though, I get flushed down and have to choose to retreat above the rocks. It must be in a rotor here, but fortunately the air is very calm. I guess I'm in a sheltered lead. I swing over the rock right at the top, and then it flies on its own. With a westerly wind, the jump to the south face was pretty easy, but then the flight along it was almost impossible. In a southerly, the jump was a murder, but the flight along the South Pole is rewarding. At first, I do a few turns and 360s, but soon I realize that it isn't necessary. I fly straight and only release the speed when the Vario shows a 3. It will fly itself to take off. At the lower slope, I intermelink a little bit. I want to stretch to the river. A little before it, I turned around, but I could have flown further. I return above the takeoff with 200 meters to spare. Before landing, I do wingovers, which I haven't done for a long time, and I'm not very good at it. But after a few series, I can see some improvement. Then a good 10 meters per second spiral at the end. I'm glad I was able to close it today. And I'm also glad I did it on the last day. If I would have made it on the first day, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed flying the same course over and over again. This way, I still had something to work for. I consistently flew all 3 days to the end and to the last jump, and I got a little better too. I don't mind that the track is shorter today than it would be other days. The decision not to fly under a black cloud was the right one, and I don't regret it. Looking back afterwards, I saw some wings flying around, and they seemed like matches in the sea. All in all, I had a great 3 days of flying. In Czechia in July, I found the air quite dull. In the Alps, on the contrary, it was beautifully alive, sometimes almost too much.